fifth grade classroom. It sounds like a joke, but it's not. And tonight we are praying to give away $2 million on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? All right, kids, you ready to meet your new classmates? He is a 35-year-old rabbi who graduated from French Elementary School in Long Island, New York. Please welcome Rabbi Rick Brody. Rabbi Rick, how are you?
I'm great.
Welcome to the classroom.
Great to be here.
Look at young Rabbi Rick. You look like one of the kids I would have wanted to sit next to. You look like a smart kid in school, were you?
I was pretty smart in school, yeah.
So as a rabbi, you're a teacher, so I guess you kind of feel at home in the classroom.
That's right, learning and asking questions and hopefully answering them. That's what it's all
that's a
about.
big part of being a rabbi, right, is asking questions. Well, tonight we get to ask the questions. Now, here's the cool thing. Let me tell you how it works in here. We're going to give you 10 subjects. They range first grade through the fifth grade. You get all 10 of these right, we're going to give you one more question. You get it right, you are walking out of here with $1 million. Rabbi Rick, here's the cool thing. There are people to help you in this classroom. They are these 5 fifth graders. Let me introduce them. Jonathan, Jenna, Olivia, Bryce, and Francesca. All right, Rabbi Rick, pick one of them. Let's get started.
I'm going to start with Francesca.
Francesca, come on up here. Woo! All right, I think it's time to find out, is Rabbi Rick Brody smarter than a fifth grader? All right, Francesca. If you had to help the rabbi with a couple of subjects, what would they be, Francesca?
I like animal science, health, and spelling.
Oh, well, that's good news, Rabbi, because it's 2 first grade and a second grade question, but it's your pick.
Let's get it started with first grade animal science.
First grade animal science, all right. It's worth $1,000. Here is the question. Which of the following terms refers to a group of fish? Platoon, pride, or school? Which of the following terms refers to a group of fish? Platoon, pride, or school? Francesca has locked in her answer. Now, I'm thinking as a rabbi, you know a little bit about fish, right?
Yeah, fish come up sometimes.
Lox,
That's right.
whitefish.
Which of the following terms refers to a group of fish? It's very appropriate given our setting, and I've got some good fish helping me out here in school. The answer is C, school. I'm gonna lock it in.
Wow. Well, Rabbi Rick, a group of gefilte fish is called a school. You've got $1,000. You've got 1,000. We could double it very quickly. There's 9 subjects remaining. Time to pick another one.
All right, Francesca said she's good at health. Let's go first grade health.
First grade health, all right. It is worth $2,000. Here's the question. The thigh is located on what part of the human body? The leg, the arm, or the neck? The thigh is located on what part of the human body? The leg, the arm, or the neck? Francesca has locked in her answer.
Thigh is located on what part of the human body? The thigh is located on the leg. A leg, locking it in.
Francesca said the same thing. You are both right. You got $2,000. Good job, Francesca. Nothing to it, huh?
Pretty good, pretty good.
8 subjects remaining. You have 4 classmates to pick from. Let's choose another one.
Let's go with Jonathan.
Jonathan, come on up here. All right, Jonathan, we have 8 subjects up there. First grade is gone. If you had to help the rabbi with a couple, what would you say?
I would probably say math or literature.
He said math or literature. We have a second grade and a 5th grade question.
I'll keep it low, work my way up. Let's go second grade math.
Second grade math, all right. You ready? The second grade math question worth $5,000 is, what is the highest 2-digit even number? What is the highest 2-digit even number? Jonathan has locked in his answer.
All right, the highest 2-digit even number, well, the highest 2-digit number is 99, because right after that is 100, and that's 3 digits. And 99 is an odd number, so we'll go one down below that to 98. 98, locking it in.
What is the highest 2-digit even number? It is 98. You've got $5,000. You're making this look easy. Now, it says on your card that your mom was a school teacher, huh?
Yeah. Yep, she taught high school social studies, world history. So when we get a little further up, hopefully, I'll be able to lean on her wisdom that she's
We've got a 3rd grade world history, no social studies. You were the spelling bee champ. How are you at spelling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the champ.
There's a confidence builder.
Well, I'm going to go ahead with second grade spelling.
Second grade spelling, all right. You've got $5,000. We can turn it into $10,000 right now. The second grade spelling question worth $10,000 is coming up when we come back. Welcome back to Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? In the classroom tonight, we have a rabbi and a priest. We are trying to give away a couple of $1 million. You're doing great so far. You've got $5,000. We're about to play for $10,000. Now, I know you brought some people here to support you. You want to introduce them to us quickly?
Sure. I've got my beautiful wife, Rachel, our 4-year-old daughter, Noah, sitting on her lap. And then behind them, we've got some members of my congregation.
Oh, wow.
Shalom and West Covina.
So while you're thinking, they're over there praying, right? That you'll have the right answer, yeah.
Any little bit of prayer helps.
Does it make you nervous with him up here?
Yes.
Yes, does it really?
But you know what? He's doing great.
He is doing great. And so far, he's got $5,000. We're about to try to turn it into $10,000. You selected second grade spelling. Here it is. How many times does the letter E appear in the following word? The word is argument. How many times does the letter E appear in the word argument? Jonathan has locked in his answer.
How many times does the letter E appear in the following word? Argument. In this case, the E at the end of argue drops off. So it's 1 time. Locking it in.
You said the letter E appears in the word argument 1 time. Olivia, how many times do you think the letter E appears in the word argument?
2.
2. Let's take a look at the board and see what Jonathan said. Jonathan said the letter E appears in the word argument 2. Kids, you can learn something from the former spelling bee champ. The letter E appears in argument 1 time. You're absolutely right, Rabbi Rick. You got $10,000. There it is. Nicely done. Jonathan has to return to the classroom.
Excellent job. Great.
How you feeling?
Great.
We need to get this next question right. Because up until this point, if you had flunked out of school, you would have left us with nothing. You get this next one right, you're walking out of here with no less than $25,000. 6 subjects, 3 classmates is trying to pick another one.
Let's go to Olivia.
Olivia, come on up here.
All right.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is kind of fun, isn't it?
Yes.
He's doing great. He's very calm, isn't he?
Yes. Very calm. Very unusual.
Yeah, but you were doing very well. You have all your cheats left. You have 6 subjects remaining, 2 3rd grade, 2 4th grade, and 2 5th grade. Olivia, if you had to help him, what would you say?
3rd grade world history or the 4th grade ancient cultures?
3rd grade world history and 4th grade ancient cultures.
All right. My mom taught world history, so let's go with 3rd grade world history.
3rd grade world history, all right. Let's see if we can make Mom proud. The 3rd grade world history question worth $25,000, Rabbi, is this. Christopher Columbus made his 1492 transatlantic voyage under the sponsorship of Ferdinand and Isabella, who were the king and queen of what country? That's a long sentence. Christopher Columbus made his 1492 transatlantic voyage under the sponsorship of Ferdinand and Isabella, who were the king and queen of what country? Olivia has locked in her answer.
This is actually a very important period in Jewish history. In 1492 began the Spanish Inquisition, and a lot of Jews fled along with Christopher Columbus, and they were fleeing Spain. Spain was the sponsoring country of Columbus, so it is Spain.
All right. Christopher Columbus made his 1492 transatlantic voyage under the sponsorship of Ferdinand and Isabella, who were the king and queen of what country? You said Spain. You're absolutely right. You got $25,000. Good job. Rabbi. Now, I don't know, as a rabbi, if you get to meet very many rednecks. I will tell you something that we have in common, though. We both know how to throw a good party. And I've got to tell you this, because the best wedding that I ever went to in my life, I went to one Jewish wedding, and you guys know how to throw a wedding.
We do.
I had no idea what I was doing, and my wife the whole way home was like, I cannot believe you. But I was out there dancing, singing, have a tequila, have a tequila. And my wife is like, that is not the words to the song. Rabbi, look at this. We're halfway to the $1 million question. Woo! Wow. You have all your cheats left. This is my favorite question on the board because you risk nothing. No reason not to answer it. Even if you miss it, you have $25,000. What would you do with $25,000?
Buy a hybrid car, take the family to Israel, and maybe give a little back to the synagogue.
There we go. All right, well, all noble things. All right.
All right, well, I'm going to go a little out of order here because Olivia said that she's good at ancient cultures. So, 4th grade ancient cultures.
Oh, wow, okay, leaving a 3rd grade question on the board. 4th grade ancient cultures. It's worth $50,000. The question is, coming up when we come back. Welcome back to the classroom. Tonight we have a rabbi and a priest and a redneck. Our Rabbi Rick Brody is doing a terrific job. You've got $25,000. Let's turn it into 50, all right?
Let's do it. Yeah! 50,000!
You ready to see it?
Yep.
The fourth grade ancient cultures question is, in Greek mythology, what creature had the head of a bull and the body of a man? In Greek mythology, what creature had the head of a bull and the body of a man? Olivia has locked in her answer. What do we know about Greek mythology?
Well, I know the first thing that came to my mind was the Minotaur, and then I thought about it, and I know that the Tor part, like Taurus, is referring to the bull, and I guess the min part is referring to a man. So that confirms my initial thought, which is that it is a Minotaur, and I'm gonna lock that in.
I was just about to say you still have all your cheats left, and you did not care to use any of them. And you can't take them with you when you leave, so you might as well use them while you're here. In Greek mythology, what creature had the head of a bull and the body of a man? You said...
Minotaur.
And I say, Mazel Tov, you've got $50,000. I'm impressed. You have two fifth grade, a fourth grade, and a third grade question remaining before the $1 million question. You have all your cheats left. You have two classmates yet to pick from. Choose one of them.
Pick me!
Let's go with Bryce.
Bryce, come on up here, Bryce. Bryce, we need to get to the $1 million question. If you had to help the rabbi, which questions would you recommend that he go with?
Music or grammar?
Third grade or a fourth grade question?
All right, I'm glad he likes music because I'm ready to take care of third grade music.
Third grade music? All right, listen carefully. The third grade music question, worth $100,000, is this. True or false? By definition, all operas are sung in Italian. True or false? By definition, all operas are sung in Italian. Bryce has locked in his answer. Are you a fan of the opera?
I don't know opera too well, but I've been to a couple, and operas can be sung in any language. There are lots of German operas, there are English operas. I don't even know if most of them are in Italian, but I definitely know that this statement, all operas are sung in Italian, is false.
I said a little earlier you had all your cheats left and you can't use them on the $1 million question. I thought maybe you might even want to peek at what Bryce said. True or false? By definition, all operas are sung in Italian. Bryce said false.
All right.
That sound kosher?
That's kosher.
I was going to tell you something because it was for $100,000 and it's a true or false question. There was a way you could do it where you would guarantee yourself getting the right answer. You could have peeked at his paper. In this case, he said false. You could have said true. You would have guaranteed yourself $100,000. In this case, Bryce cannot save you. And the key to the question, I think, is by definition. By definition, all operas are sung in Italian. You said false. He can't save you. The answer is false. You got $100,000.
$100,000. Good job. Good job. All right. $100,000.
$175,000 when we come back. Don't go away. Welcome back to Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Rabbi Rick Brody is taking this redneck to school tonight. You have $100,000. You have 3 subjects remaining before the $1 million question. The next correct answer is worth $175,000. Kind of climbing the ladder here. You've had a strategy. Right now we have 2 fifth grade and 1 fourth grade question up there. Which one would you like?
I like them all, but I'm really strong at grammar, so I'm going to go ahead 4th grade grammar.
4th grade grammar. All right. It is worth $175,000. The 4th grade grammar question is, what word is the pronoun in the following sentence? Everyone, including Jenna and Olivia, was afraid of taking the math exam. What word is the pronoun in the following sentence? Everyone, including Jenna and Olivia, was afraid of taking the math exam. Bryce has locked in his answer. Now, Rabbi, you said you like grammar.
Yep. All right, everyone, including Jenna and Olivia, was afraid of taking the math exam. Jenna and Olivia are not pronouns, they are proper nouns. Then there's exam, but that's just a common noun. Everyone is a pronoun standing in for all of the people. So everyone is the pronoun in this sentence, everyone.
Every one of my students is in agreement. Rabbi Rick, take a look at the board and let's see what I wrote. You have added $150,000. What are you going to do with that amount of money?
I'm going to put away some for my family, my 4-year-old daughter and our 11-week-old son, and would give some to some other charities, including fighting the genocide in Darfur.
Oh, good for you. That is awesome. You have 2 subjects on the board, both 5th grade questions. The top of the ladder, you have 1 classmate that you have not used yet. Jenna, come on up here, sweetie.
All right. Go for it.
And we all know you were saving the best for last, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only 2 subjects up there. Rabbi, which one scares you the most?
I feel really good about both. U.S. history, that was my major in college, so I'm going with 5th grade U.S. history.
Wow. You were a history major.
Yep.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Yale University.
To Yale.
That's cool. You're smart then.
Well,
I might not be smarter than a 5th grader, though.
You should be if you went to Yale.
well, hold on a minute. He did go to Yale, but I got a question for you. Have you seen any of the Yale graduates that we've had on the show in the past?
No.
Take a look at the board. Let's recap some of that.
I'm gonna say Mercury.
The correct answer is Explorer. I am so sorry, Steve.
I'm gonna lock in Wyoming.
Olivia said Colorado.
Olivia.
Olivia is correct. I am so sorry. Both of them left with $25,000. You can safely say you are the highest winning Yale graduate to appear on this show. Unless you answer incorrectly and are not saved, then you could drop down to $25,000. Now, since you always lock in so fast and you never give me a chance to explain your cheats, I'm going to do it before I ask the question. Let me tell you what they are. You have a peek, which means you can peek it or answer. If you like it, you can go with it. If not, you can go with your own. You have a copy, which means you must take the answer your classmate at the podium has written down. And you have a save, meaning if you answer incorrectly, but she has the right answer, she can save you. And I don't think a peek violates any of the commandments, does it?
It depends what you're peeking at, but...
Oh, well. He's doing the jokes now. All right, Rabbi, don't answer too quickly.
Okay.
It is worth $300,000. A lot of family and friends and Yale alumni have their fingers crossed right now. The 5th grade U.S. history question, worth $300,000, is coming up after the break. Welcome back to the classroom. It is a fun night. But Rabbi Rick Brody has got $175,000. He selected 5th grade U.S. history for the $300,000 question. You ready to hear it?
Ready.
Here we go. In the 1850s, the United States bought about 30,000 square miles of land as part of the Gadsden Purchase. The land is now part of 2 U.S. states. Name them both. In the 1850s, the United States bought about 30,000 square miles of land as part of the Gadsden Purchase. The land is now part of 2 U.S. states. Name them both. Jenna has locked in her answer.
1850s, came right after the gold rush of 1849. And so I'm pretty sure that we're talking California and Arizona. But I've got all my cheats left, so I'm going to take a peek at Jenna. Peek.
Okay, before... Okay. You want to peek. Now, once you peek, you cannot drop out of school. I said to you, do not lock in too quickly here. Because I was just about to remind you that you could walk out of here with $175,000. But you decided to lock in. You wanted to peek. What are you thinking?
Thinking something different now. I'm thinking, well, I was thinking California and Arizona, but maybe it's California and Nevada.
Well, you locked in a peek.
Yeah.
Let's see what your classmate had to say. In the 1850s, the United States bought about 30,000 square miles of land as part of the Gadsden Purchase. The land is now part of 2 U.S. states. Name them both. Jenna said Georgia and Florida.
I'm pretty sure that's not it. So I'm going to stick with my thought about California, and now I just need to decide if we're going to say Nevada or Arizona. And I'm thinking, I know the gold was found up in Northern California, and if you just go due east of San Francisco and those areas, you get to Nevada. And I'm also thinking that maybe Arizona came with New Mexico, and I guess the answer could be the 2 of them, but I'm pretty sure if we're talking 1850s, California's got to be one of them because that's where the gold rush was. So I'm going to say California and Nevada.
You want to lock that in?
I'm just gonna wait 1 second because you've been telling me I've been hitting it too fast, so just gonna let that sink in. 150,000 to give back. California and Nevada, I'm locking it in.
Raquel, you look nervous.
Yeah.
Why?
Maybe you should have walked.
He should have walked. What do you think it is?
Not sure.
Not sure. Let's take a look at the board over here. Let's see what Bryce said. Bryce said New Mexico and Arizona.
That's it.
If you could change your answer right now, what would you do?
I would change it
You would change it to
Arizona and New Mexico.
what the 10-year-old boy said,
Yeah,
as opposed to what the Yale graduate thought.
right.
Here we are again. Our third Yale graduate comes on the show. Hits the button so fast it looks like he's playing a game of whack-a-mole. Bryce is right. It is Arizona and New Mexico. California did become a state in the 1850s, but it had nothing to do with the Gadsden Purchase.
Right.
Now, you still have enough money for the car and the trip to Israel.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I hate it that we gave money back. You have been a pleasure.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful family.
Thank you.
We promised at the top of the show we had $2 million set aside tonight for a priest and a rabbi. $1 million for the rabbi and $1 million for the priest. The rabbi has just taken $25,000. We're going to see if the priest can take the $1 million. But before we do, the rabbi has one last piece of business.
I'm Rick Brody, and I might be a rabbi, but I'm not smarter than a 5th grader.
Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? In the classroom tonight, we have a rabbi, a priest, and a redneck. The rabbi, Rick Brody, was at the $300,000 question, missed it, and dropped down to $25,000. Now we're going to try to give away $1 million to a priest. Guys, you ready to meet your new classmate? He is a 57-year-old Episcopal priest who graduated from Lane and Jackson Elementary School in Fresno, California. Please welcome the Reverend Rick Miles. Reverend Rick, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Good to see you. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
There's the Reverend Rick Miles as a 5th grader. Now, Reverend Rick, you might look familiar to some fans of this show, and kids, you weren't here, but last season, your daughter, Meghan, was a contestant on the show, and she's actually here in the audience. Meghan, how are you? Now, Reverend Rick, got a little slideshow in the classroom. Now, Meghan started out strong. You guys were cheering her on. There's the Reverend Rick in the audience. And then Meghan got to the $1 million question. The question was, what American pilot was the first person to exceed the speed of sound in an airplane? You and your wife prayed. But Meghan answered Howard Hughes, and that was wrong. When I asked you in the audience what was the right answer, what did you say?
Chuck Yeager.
Chuck Yeager. That's exactly right. Now, Meghan, maybe tonight Dad can walk out of here with the $1 million. Now, I know you know how this works. Oh, do you know how this works?
Yeah.
There are 10 subjects on the board. First grade through the 5th grade. Reverend Rick, you get all these right, we give you one more question. How much is it worth?
$1 million.
$1 million, that's exactly right. Now, as you know, in this classroom, you have people to help you. We have these 5 5th graders. Pick one of them and let's get started.
Jenna.
Jenna, come on up here. Now, I know you have enjoyed being in the classroom this year. Did you happen to see the episode where his daughter went for the $1 million question?
Yes, I did. It was crazy.
It was crazy. It was a lot of prayers in the room that night. Did you know the answer to it?
Yeah, Chuck Yeager.
Chuck Yeager. So easy to say now, isn't it? You ready?
Yeah.
Let's find out. Is the Reverend Rick Miles smarter than a 5th grader? All right. If you had to help the Reverend with a couple of answers, what would they be?
English, astronomy, or world geography.
English, astronomy, or world geography? 2 1st grades and a 2nd grade.
Let's go 1st grade English.
1st grade English, all right. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up. All right, Reverend, the 1st grade English question worth $1,000 is this. The plural form of the word girl is girls. What is the plural form of the word woman? The plural form of the word girl is girls. What is the plural form of the word woman? Jenna has locked in her answer.
Okay. Well, the plural form of the word girl is girls. What is the plural form of the word woman? It is women. And I'm going to lock that in.
The plural form of the word girl is girls. What is the plural form of the word woman? The answer is women. You are exactly right. Woman is an irregular noun. Women is the plural form. Deep cleansing breaths.
Okay.
You got 1,000. Let's double that right now. Pick another subject.
Well, Jenna.
World geography or astronomy.
Jenna said she's good at astronomy.
Sure.
So let's do 1st grade astronomy.
1st grade astronomy. Thinking you may have a little help with this one from the one that created the heavens. Our 1st grade astronomy question worth $2,000 is this. True or false? Bryce weighs more on the Earth than he does on the moon. True or false? Bryce weighs more on the Earth than he does on the moon. Jenna has locked in her answer. Reverend Rick, true or false is a good thing. 50-50 shot.
Bryce weighs more on the Earth than he does on the moon. Definitely, Bryce, you would weigh more on the Earth than on the moon. So the answer is true.
Now, why do you think that is?
Well, because the gravity on the moon is significantly less than what it is on the Earth.
It's one possibility. The other one is they don't have fast food restaurants on the moon.
Oh, that's true.
True or false? Bryce weighs more on the Earth than he does on the moon. The answer is absolutely true. You got $2,000. She had you covered had you been wrong anyway. Good job, Jenny.
Thanks, Jenny.
All right, you have 4 classmates that haven't been up here yet. Pick another one, Reverend.
Well, let me take Bryce.
Bryce, come on up here, Bryce. Bryce, welcome to the podium. And everybody, we're going to be playing for $5,000 next time on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? In the classroom tonight, we have a rabbi, a priest, and a redneck. The rabbi, Rick Brody, was at the $300,000 question, missed it, and dropped down to $25,000. Now we're going to try to give away $1 million to a priest. All right, well, you've got $2,000. You've got all your cheats left. Now, Reverend Rick, it says on your card, now you're an Episcopal minister, but actually your mother was a school teacher and your dad was a minister, huh?
That's right.
So you're second generation?
Yeah.
A school teacher and a minister, it's like, that's like a country song about an outlaw or something, isn't it? Isn't that what, I mean, it sounds like, Mama was a teacher, Daddy was a preacher, or something,
exactly.
you know.
That's about right. That's the preacher's kid syndrome.
The preacher, but not the case with you. You have wonderful kids.
Oh, they're awesome.
Wonderful kids,
Yeah.
very smart. You look at.
Yeah, there they are.
And we all remember your daughter Meghan was a contestant on the show. Take a look at the board. Let's recap some of that. Now Meghan started out strong. You guys were cheering her on, and Meghan got to the $1 million question. The question was, what American pilot was the first person to exceed the speed of sound in an airplane? But Meghan answered Howard Hughes, and that was wrong. She left with $25,000, and she's here in the audience. Meghan, how are you? All right, well, you've got $2,000. We have a chance to turn it into $5,000. Let's do that right now, Reverend. 8 subjects on the board. Which one would you like?
What are you good at, Bryce?
Geography or history or, any kind of geography.
Okay.
Or history.
Well, let's do the second grade world geography.
Second grade world geography. All right. Listen carefully. The $5,000 question is this. What is the southernmost country in Africa? What is the southernmost country in Africa? Bryce has locked in his answer. Have you been to Africa?
No, I haven't. I had an aunt who was a missionary in Africa.
In the northern part or the southern part?
Central.
Central.
Yeah. I'm trying to picture the continent. And I think I know the answer, but I'm just trying to rule out possibilities. I'm pretty sure that it's South Africa. And that's what I'm going to say.
All right. What is the southernmost country in Africa? Let's see if Bryce can save you, since you've never been to Africa. Bryce said South Africa.
Okay.
You're both right. You got $5,000. There it is. South Africa. Which one's more nerve-wracking? You sat in the audience and watched your daughter take this test. Is it worse being up here or worse sitting in the audience?
It's hard to say because up here I'm concentrating so much, and over there I was just worried to death. So it's a toss-up. I'm scared to death or worried to death.
You have nothing to fear. You've got all of your cheats left. You've got $5,000. We're about to play for $10,000. Time to pick another subject. Reverend Rick,
Well, Bryce mentioned history, so let's go with second grade U.S. history.
Second grade U.S. history, all right. I see your strategy. Let's work our way up. The second grade U.S. history question, worth $10,000, is this. The Pilgrims who sailed on the Mayflower to the New World in 1620 crossed what ocean on their journey? The Pilgrims who sailed on the Mayflower to the New World in 1620 crossed what ocean on their journey? Bryce has locked in his answer. What do we know about Pilgrims?
Well, the Pilgrims sailed from England, and the ocean between England and the New World is the Atlantic. So, they sailed on the Mayflower in 1620 and crossed the Atlantic Ocean.
Reverend, 5 out of 5 fifth graders agree with you. Everyone in the classroom is right. You've got $10,000.
Thank you very much.
Nice job, Bryce. All right. We're getting there. 6 subjects remain, 3 classmates to choose from. Let's do it.
Francesca.
Francesca, come on up here. Did you see the episode where his daughter got to the $1 million question?
Yes.
It was one of the most exciting nights we have ever had here. We need to do that again. I want to repeat getting to the $1 million question.
And then get it right.
But we're going to get it right this time. We have 6 subjects up there. If you had to help Reverend Rick with a couple, what would they be?
Probably science and U.S. geography.
Science and U.S. geography. But it's up to you, Rick.
Let's go for the third grade U.S. geography.
Third grade U.S. geography. We're at $25,000. We need to get this one, so you're guaranteed of leaving us with money. The third grade U.S. geography question is this. What river that's over 1,400 miles long flows through the middle of the Grand Canyon? What river that is over 1,400 miles long flows through the middle of the Grand Canyon? Francesca has locked in her answer. Have you been to the Grand Canyon?
I flew over it in an airplane. I looked down and I could see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll look out the right side of the plane, you will see the Grand Canyon.
The river that flows through the middle of the Grand Canyon is the Colorado.
Do you have a second guess?
Do you have a second? Not really. About the only thing I could think of is the Rio Grande, but that's south. So I'm
No second guess at all.
not really.
Well, you don't need one because you're right, and you got $25,000.
Thank you.
It is the Colorado River. Let's recap where we're at. You have $25,000, which means you are tied with Rabbi Rick right now.
Okay.
And also tied with Meghan right now. We are going to be playing for $50,000 when we come back. Welcome back to Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Our contestant, Episcopal minister, Rick Miles, has $25,000. Now, earlier in the night, the Rabbi, Rick Brody, won $25,000, but in doing that, he gave $150,000 back. We don't want to do that tonight. This next question is the only one from here on out that this applies to, but you cannot give money back on the next question. You get it right, you have $50,000, but if you miss it, you still have $25,000. You don't give anything back.
Okay.
Reverend Rick, we are halfway to the $1 million question. It is time to pick a subject.
Well, Francesca said that she was good at science, so let's do third grade science.
Third grade science, all right. He took your advice. You have all your cheats. We have a third grade science question. It's worth $50,000. Here it is. A lever is a simple machine that pivots on a point. What is that point called? A fulcrum, a levy, or a pulley? A lever is a simple machine that pivots on a point. What is that point called? A fulcrum, a levy, or a pulley? Francesca has locked in her answer.
A lever is a simple machine that pivots on a point. All right, a pulley is not a point. I'm not sure about a levy, but it seems to me process of elimination, but my best guesstimate is A, fulcrum.
Well, you still have all your cheats left. So, and if it's a process of elimination, perhaps if you're wrong and she's right, she can save you. You give nothing back. There's no reason not to answer.
Now I'm starting to.
Okay, well,
No, I'm going to stick with what I said. Fulcrum.
Okay, well, I said you could cheat, right? I mean, you had your copy, your peek, or your save. You elected not to use them, so with that in mind, let's see if Francesca can save you. Take a look at the board. A lever is a simple machine that pivots on a point. What is the point called? Francesca said fulcrum, same as you.
I hope you're right.
How we feeling in the audience?
Hoping she's right.
The congregation is in prayer. Reverend, I told you there was no reason not to answer, especially if you have the right answer. You got $50,000.
Thank you.
Now, I asked you this earlier. I have to ask Meghan, is it more gut-wrenching being up here or being in the audience where you have no control?
Here.
Here.
Here in the
I would
audience.
think so, because at least up here you have control over, or at least a semblance of control over the situation. No.
You're making your own mistakes.
No. How you doing with the answers so far?
I am 6 for 6.
6 for 6.
Yeah.
You would be. I have no doubt.
We're up at the top of the board where the questions get tougher. The 4th grade and the 5th grade. You have 2 classmates yet to choose from. It's time to pick one.
Olivia. Come on, Olivia. Come on. Okay. Olivia.
All right, do you guys want to consult with each other and see which way to go?
What are you good at?
The 5th grade ones. The 5th grade ones.
5th grade ones? Oh, dear.
5th
Well-
grade ones. Now, you've had a strategy up until this point.
Well, I'm going to kind of stick with my strategy, and she did say math, so I'm
I
going to.
said I'm scared of math.
She said scared of
Scared
math?
of math.
Oh, God. Well, let's do 4th grade literature.
4th grade literature. All right. Now, as you watched earlier in the evening, I advised the rabbi not to hit the button too quickly. The rabbi didn't listen to me. Hopefully the priest will. Because from this point on, you can give money back. In this case, it's $25,000. The fourth grade literature question worth $100,000 is this. In the book, The Odyssey by Homer, the mythical monster Cyclops had how many eyes? In the book, The Odyssey by Homer, the mythical monster Cyclops had how many eyes? Olivia has locked in her answer. Did you have to read The Odyssey in school?
Not in third grade. In the book, The Odyssey by Homer, the mythical monster Cyclops had how many eyes? And I remember this one because they had to put it out. It was 1.
You said Cyclops had 1 eye. I say you have $100,000. You're exactly right. Look at the board, Reverend. Your family keeps doing this to us. They keep breezing through the test. You have all your cheats left. Well, I know you're a reverend. We do allow you to cheat. And when you get to the $1 million question, you can't use them. So let's not answer too quickly. Let's be wise. You have 3 subjects remaining. The next one's worth $175,000. Time to choose it.
No math.
How about world history?
Yes. Yeah, world history.
All right, we'll go 5th grade world history.
5th grade world history. It is worth $175,000, and it's coming up when we come back. Welcome back to Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? We're about to play for $175,000 with the Reverend Rick Miles. Let's see how the family's doing. A lot of prayers over there. Now, do people in the congregation talk to you about when Meghan was on the show?
Oh, definitely.
And so now you've got double trouble because now you've got him on there. You've got $100,000 in your pocket. What would you do with $100,000?
Oh, golly. I wouldn't blow the whole $100,000 on this, but one thing my wife and I have always wanted to do is take a nice cruise, and we'll definitely do that.
Sure, where do you want to go?
Mediterranean.
The Mediterranean. Okay, yeah, all right. Well, that's decided. We're doing the Mediterranean.
The Mediterranean, all right. Your marriage is just like mine.
Yeah.
She yelled it out, and you said it's decided. My wife does this to me because she does that subliminal head nod that like is hypnotic, and she'll say, "Don't you think we ought to go to the Mediterranean?" And I say, "Yes,
Oh, yes.
we should go to the Mediterranean."
That's it.
All right, you picked 5th grade world history. Don't hit this too quickly. It's worth $175,000. The question is, the United States of America is named after Amerigo, an Italian explorer who was born in the 15th century. What was Amerigo's last name? The United States of America is named after Amerigo, an Italian explorer who was born in the 15th century. What was Amerigo's last name? Olivia has locked in her answer. You know, in this class, when people go like this, I usually let them go down the hall.
I know this one. It is Amerigo Vespucci.
Pretty locked in with your answer. Meghan, how do you feel about it?
It's right. It's Amerigo Vespucci.
Too bad that wasn't the million-dollar question. You got $175,000 for what, Vespucci? We are down to our last classmate. Come on up here, Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Two subjects remain here. Now, I know you like math. Is it your favorite subject? Yes. It is. You seem to be frightened of math a little bit.
A little.
Little. All right, gentlemen, put your heads together because it's worth $300,000.
Okay. Fourth grade math.
Fourth grade math. It is worth $300,000. The question is gonna be revealed when we come back. Welcome back to Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Our contestant, the Reverend Rick Miles, has $175,000. Now, we saw the Rabbi Rick get up to $175,000 and then give $150,000 back. I don't want to see you do that, okay? Listen carefully. You can drop out of school with $175,000.
Yeah.
The fourth grade math question is this. If an isosceles triangle has side lengths of 5 and 8, what could be the length of the third side? 3, 5, or 13? If an isosceles triangle has side lengths of 5 and 8, what could be the length of the third side? Jonathan has already locked in.
Yeah, okay. If an isosceles triangle has side lengths of 5 and 8, what could be the length of the third side? If I recall, an isosceles triangle has, what makes it that is two sides that are equal. So, an 8 would be the long side. Oh, is that right? Oh my Lord, let's see. Well, you're good at math, so.
Okay, let's talk about your options.
I know I have a save.
You have a save. You have a peek, you have a copy, or you have the option to walk out the door with $175,000.
Right.
Rabbi Rick gave back $150,000. Now, the good thing is it is multiple choice.
Multiple guess.
Multiple guess, as I used to call it. That's exactly right. Now, you had a theory going there.
Yeah. I know I'm thinking that it's B5. Wondering, but if I take a peek, I have to answer.
If you peek, you have to answer.
You know, I'm gonna hope I'm right. And if I'm wrong, I'm gonna hope like crazy that Jonathan is gonna save me. You know, it's either 5 or 13. So at this point, oh, you know what? It could be 3. I'm really messed up. I am really messed up.
You started out with a theory and you've slowly unraveled it as you've stood here.
I really have. I have unraveled it 3 times. You know, I'm gonna say B5.
let me understand your theory here. You locked in with B, 5, because you also thought it might be 3 or 13.
Yeah. Well, I started going through this old theory about, you know, being equal to the sum of the two sides, and I thought, well, but wait a minute, that would make 3 or 13 it. And so that can't be right, so it has to be 5.
It doesn't have to be
Well,
5.
no, it does, yeah, no.
You do have your save left. You have not used that. Let's take a look at the board. Jonathan said 5. Never mind, you don't have your save left. Meghan, you answered all the 4th grade questions correctly when you were here. What do you think the right answer is?
I think it's 5.
I think it's 5. How about the rest of your family?
5. I concur.
5 for sure.
Well, if Meghan thinks it's 5, I probably is.
If I remember, Meghan gave quite a sum of money back when she was here.
Yes, that's true.
Forgot about that little detail, didn't we?
Yeah.
An isosceles triangle has 2 sides the same length. So in this case, the 3rd side must be either 8 or 5. You're right, you got $300,000.
Sweating bullets on that one. I haven't
You
seen...
started out with the right theory
And I went on to 2 other theories.
and then started second-guessing yourself.
Oh.
Reverend Rick, there's one subject between you and the $1 million question. Kind of a family tradition going on here. You can see the question and still walk away. You have $300,000 right now. You ready? The 5th grade cultural studies question, worth $500,000, is coming up when we get back. Well, the Reverend Rick Miles has got $300,000. The good thing is it eliminates decisions. We are down to 5th grade cultural studies. You've got $300,000 in your pocket. You're an Episcopal minister. Now, the Episcopal Church does not have a vow of poverty, right?
This is true.
Good. That's a good thing. Because you get this one right, you will have $500,000 with the chance to play for $1 million. Let me remind you, you have all of your cheats left. You cannot use any of them on the $1 million question. You have your classmate Jonathan at the podium. The 5th grade cultural studies question, worth $500,000, is this. Legendary Native American leader Geronimo was a chief of what tribe? Legendary Native American leader Geronimo was a chief of what tribe? Jonathan has locked in his answer.
Let's see. I know Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse were Lakota. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's see, let me make sure I got the right guy. I'm pretty certain that Geronimo was Apache. I mean, I'm sort of certain.
You $500,000 certain?
Boy, I don't want to give back $275,000. Let me think. mean, the Comanche were out there too, but I'm almost... I still have my save.
You still have your save. You still have your peek. You still have your copy. You have all your cheats left.
You know, I want to answer this, and I'm just sitting here. I'm really nervous about giving back the money.
Rabbi Rick didn't have the same problem.
Maybe his congregation pays better, right? We were sharing a lot of, you know, priest-rabbi jokes ahead, so.
Tell me one. I don't know that I know any priest-rabbi joke. Tell me a good one.
Oh, well. Why are you supposed to be quiet in church?
I don't know.
People are sleeping.
All right, this is no laughing matter. Here's where we stand. You've got $300,000 right now.
Yeah.
You can walk out of here right now with $300,000. You've got your save left. You've got a peek left. You've got a copy left.
Well,
when we were talking in the commercial break, what did you say to me that your wife said to you before you came on today?
don't overanalyze the question. Go with my gut.
You're an analytical person.
Yeah. She said, well, usually my first answer is right. Because I tend to talk myself out of the right answer. If that's true, you know what, can I take a peek? Because
okay, and once you peek, I just want to understand, you can't,
I know I'm
you
going to
can't walk
answer
away.
it, and I know it. I think my answer is, well, I'm going to do the peek.
Okay. You wanted to peek. Take a look at the board. Jonathan said legendary Native American leader Geronimo was the chief of what tribe? Chumash. Now, how does that jive with what you were thinking?
No. Oh boy, I could be in big trouble now. Well, I'm going to go for what I think it is, and if he's right, I have the save. I think it was Apache.
See if we can make you feel any better. Take a look at the board. Let's see what Bryce said. Bryce said Geronimo was the chief of the Leno tribe.
Leno?
How does the Leno tribe sound?
Don't think so.
Oh, they had a mighty epic battle with the Letterman tribe, if you'll remember. They won by a chin. Reverend, did you ever hear of the Chiricahuas?
Yeah?
What do you know about them?
Not much. No. I should have quit.
What about the Bidonkahe tribe?
Know nothing about them.
Bidonkahe, nothing.
No.
Those two tribes were both part of the Apaches, and so was Geronimo. You got $500,000.
Oh, Jeff!
We are playing for $1 million when we come back. Welcome back to Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? It is rare air around here, though it seems to be a thing with your family. You are at the exact same point that Meghan was. You are to the $1 million question. You used a peek, just like your daughter. She decided to go for the $1 million question. Let me remind you the difference between it and every other question. For the $1 million question, you can see the subject and walk away with $500,000. Once you decide to see the question, you must answer it, okay? You have no classmate to help you. Your copy and your save go away. Take a look up at the board. Now, a few people have made it to the $1 million question before. Some people got here and didn't go for it.
I'm gonna drop out of school, and I'm gonna lock it in.
And I'm dropping out of school, Jeff.
As you know, some people went for it and lost.
I'm going to say Howard Hughes.
I'm gonna say Mercury.
But only one person has won the $1 million.
You just won $1 million!
You ready to see the $1 million subject?
Okay, let's see it.
All right. The subject of the $1 million question is this. Music. 5th grade music.
You know,
Looking at your family. Looks of anxiety over here. What are you thinking, Dewan? She says no.
Take the money and run, Dad.
Take the money and run, Dad, Meghan says. Meghan, who has stood in this place before.
You know, I taught middle school band and chorus for 8 years. And I really know this subject. And I know it really well enough to know that it could be something obscure enough that I'm not going to remember it. Or I'll remember it in the car going home in the middle of my tears.
So true.
Wow.
Like the last time that you left the show, right?
You know, music is Meghan's best subject, and the one she got was my best subject, U.S. history. You know, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I don't want to risk losing $500,000 over the chance for the $1 million, even if I turn out to know that. Because, you know, if I know the $1 million question and I don't take it,
Then we give you $1 million.
and I'll, what? But if I, wait, what? Sorry. But on the other hand,
Are his sermons this eloquent?
They're much better, I promise.
Much better, she promises.
I write them out ahead so I don't do this. I'm gonna take the money and run. I am going to drop out.
Here's won $500,000. That is so awesome. All right, Reverend Rick. When your daughter Meghan saw the $1 million question, there was a lot on the line. For giggles,
Okay.
would you like to see it?
I'd like to see it.
It's so rare that we get here, why not? You taught middle school
Band and chorus.
band and chorus for 8 years. When I heard you say that, I thought he's going to go for it. You decided to take the money and run. You had gambled a lot up until this point, too. I mean, that last question, you risked giving back $275,000. You ready to see it?
Yeah.
The $1 million question is this. What composer wrote the 1812 Overture in 1882? This is the exact opposite reaction that Meghan had when she saw the $1 million question. When you did not know the $1 million question, I asked him in the audience, and he said he did know. Meghan, I'm going to give you a shot at redemption here. Who wrote the 1812 Overture?
Tchaikovsky.
She's right.
That is the right answer. It is Tchaikovsky. But da 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 da.
That's
You got
Beethoven.
$500,000.
Yes!
One little piece of business, but I don't think you're going to mind saying it all that much. No. There's the camera. Let's hear the words.
I'm Father Rick Miles. I may be a priest, I may have a doctorate and an Ivy education, but I'm not smarter than a 5th grader.
We'll see you next time.